The last light of the day slid across the cracked asphalt of the county fairground, turning every dented bumper and frayed banner into something almost holy. Emily stood beside the Ferris wheel's ticket booth, one boot heel propped against the metal railing, sketchbook tucked under her arm like a shield. She had come for the light, how it pooled in the hollows of the midway, how it caught on the grease-slicked gears of the tilt-a-whirl, but mostly, she had come to be invisible. Portland's galleries had started to feel like cages, the same three curators, the same polite smiles that never quite reached their eyes. Here, among the smell of diesel and kettle corn, no one asked what her work meant. Sophia arrived with the storm. She was chasing a rumor of a rogue thunderstorm that had veered off the forecast, a photographer's hunch that lightning over cornfields might look like shattered glass. Her Jeep skidded to a stop in the gravel lot, camera bag slamming against the dash. She stepped out in a hurry, hair whipping across her face, and the first thing she saw was Emily, motionless, sunlit, a single figure against the chaos of spinning rides. Their collision was literal. Sophia's elbow caught Emily's sketchbook. Pages fluttered like startled birds. One sheet, a half-finished study of the funhouse mirrors, landed face down in a puddle of melted snow cone. Emily crouched to rescue it, fingers already smudged with blue sugar. Sophia knelt too, apologizing in a rush of words that carried the faint lilt of her mother's Cuban Spanish. Their hands met over the wet paper. Emily felt the callus on Sophia's index finger, the one that came from years of gripping a shutter release. "Sorry," Sophia said, but her eyes were already cataloging. The freckles across Emily's nose, the stubborn curl that refused to stay behind her ear, the way her mouth curved even when she wasn't smiling. Emily looked up. "You owe me a new page." Sophia laughed, a sound like a match strike. "I owe you a drink, at least." They found a picnic table under a string of bare bulbs. Sophia ordered 2 lemonades, so tart they made Emily's eyes water. Conversation started with the storm, how Sophia had driven 3 hours on back roads, chasing a cell that kept dissolving into harmless clouds. Emily listened, sketching absent-mindedly on a napkin, the curve of Sophia's wrist, the way her camera strap cut a diagonal across her collarbone. When Sophia noticed, she leaned in. "That's me?"
"Part of you," Emily said.
"The rest is still loading." The sky cracked open then, not with lightning but with rain, sudden, biblical. Fairgoers scattered. Emily and Sophia ran for the Jeep, shoes squelching. Inside, the windows fogged instantly. Sophia cranked the heat. Emily peeled off her soaked denim jacket. For a moment they were just 2 women breathing the same small space, the scent of wet earth and camera leather between them. Sophia spoke first. "I'm supposed to be in Moab tomorrow. Assignment for a magazine that still thinks grit means dust and cowboys." Emily traced a droplet racing down the window. "I'm supposed to be nowhere. My lease is up, my agent stopped calling, and I keep dreaming about bridges burning." Sophia turned the key. The engine coughed but caught. "Come with me." Emily laughed, incredulous. "I don't even know your last name." "Ramirez." "And yours?"
"Hart."
"Emily Hart," Sophia repeated, tasting it. "Sounds like a dare." They drove west through the night, headlights carving tunnels in the rain. Emily fell asleep against the window, sketchbook open on her lap to a new page, Sophia's profile against the dashboard glow. When she woke, the storm had passed, leaving the air rinsed clean. They were parked on a ridge above the Columbia River, dawn just beginning to bruise the horizon. Sophia handed her a thermos of coffee strong enough to wake the dead. "I lied about Moab," she said. "I don't have anywhere to be." Emily took the coffee. "Good. Because I'm terrible at goodbyes." They stayed 3 days in a rented cabin that smelled of pine and old books. Sophia photographed the river at every hour. Emily painted on the porch, canvas balanced on her knees. At night they talked about Sophia's father, who taught her to develop film in a bathroom darkroom, about Emily's mother, who still sent care packages of watercolor paper and passive-aggressive notes. They did not kiss. The air between them felt too fragile, like a negative still dripping in the tray. On the 4th morning, Emily found Sophia on the dock, staring at a contact sheet. The images were of Emily, sleeping in the Jeep, laughing with coffee on her chin, painting with river light in her hair. "You weren't supposed to see these yet," Sophia said. Emily's throat tightened. "They're beautiful. They're you." The space between them shrank to the width of a breath. Sophia's hand rose, hesitated, then tucked that stubborn curl behind Emily's ear. Emily leaned in first, a small movement that felt like stepping off a cliff. Their lips met, soft, careful, the kind of kiss that asks permission and grants it in the same instant. The river kept moving below them, indifferent and ancient. They drove back to Portland in separate cars, a caravan of two. Emily's apartment was half-packed, boxes labeled in her careful architect's hand. Sophia's studio was a chaos of hard drives and drying prints. They met in the middle, a loft above a bike shop, windows facing west. The first night, Emily hung her river painting above the couch. Sophia pinned the contact sheet beside it. Conflict arrived quietly. Emily's agent resurfaced with a gallery show, 3 weeks to produce a new series. Sophia's editor demanded a photo essay on vanishing small towns. Their schedules became opposing tides. Emily painted until her wrists ached. Sophia disappeared for days, returning with dust in her hair and silence in her eyes. They began to orbit each other like mismatched planets. One night, Emily came home to find Sophia asleep on the couch, camera still around her neck, a half-edited image on the laptop. Emily's back as she painted, shoulders tight with frustration. The caption read, "The weight of wanting to be seen." Emily woke her with a kiss that tasted of turpentine and exhaustion. "I'm drowning," she whispered. Sophia pulled her down. "Then let me be the air." They fought the next morning, words sharp as broken glass. Emily accused Sophia of hiding behind the lens. Sophia accused Emily of building walls with paint. The loft felt suddenly too small. Emily packed a bag. Sophia let her go. 3 days of silence. Emily slept in her old studio, surrounded by half-finished canvases that all looked like Sophia's absence. Sophia drove to the coast, shot roll after roll of empty beaches, came home with sand in her pockets and a bruise on her heart. On the 4th night, the power went out citywide. Emily lit candles. The loft glowed like a ship at sea. She was mixing a color, storm cloud gray with a thread of gold, when the door opened. Sophia stood there, soaked from the rain, holding a single print, the two of them on the dock, mid-kiss, the river a silver ribbon behind them. "I developed this in the dark," Sophia said. "Couldn't wait for light." Emily took the print. Her hands shook. "I thought you were gone." "I was," Sophia said. "But the pictures kept bringing me back." They met in the middle of the room, candles flickering between them. This kiss was different. Hungry, apologetic, a conversation in the language of mouths and breath. Emily tasted salt and developer fluid. Sophia's fingers found the scar on Emily's shoulder blade, a childhood fall from a peach tree. They sank to the floor, surrounded by shadows and half-packed boxes, and learned the map of each other's wanting. The gallery show opened to a full house. Emily's new series, canvases alive with river light and storm-chased shadows, sold out in an hour. Sophia's photo essay ran as the magazine's cover story. Critics called them two halves of the same horizon. Years later, they returned to the fairground. The Ferris wheel was gone, replaced by a parking lot, but the air still smelled of diesel and kettle corn. Emily carried a small box. Inside was a ring, white gold, etched with the negative space of a lightning bolt. Sophia opened it under the same string of bare bulbs, now flickering with age. Her eyes filled. "Marry me," Emily said. "Not because the story needs an ending, but because I want every beginning with you." Sophia slipped the ring on, then pulled Emily close. Their kiss tasted of lemonade and possibility, the same as that first night. Around them, the midway spun on, rides rising and falling, lights blinking like slow heartbeats. Two women, one camera, one sketchbook, and a love that had learned to weather every storm it chased.